Hmm. Let me think. Mm. Mm. I'm just gonna open a game and we're gonna like explain some things.
Okay, context real quick. This is Bloodx. He coaches a lot of pros. Cami Seti, Clix, of course, as you can probably see by the title. We're just gonna get right into it.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Is my microphone low or no? People complain sometimes. Fine. Okay, so everyone's focused so much on the VOD review, but in reality, it's not that much about the VOD review. It's about what goes through your head when you start a Fortnite game. So let's go through it, the entire thing. Let me find these noobs. We're gonna go through the basics, and we're not in a rush. I don't care if we go over time, it don't matter. Because once I start something, I want to finish it. So let's just start with first things first. Let's go through an entire game of Fortnite. Obviously, you have the bus, and people are worried about their drop maps. Everyone's got drop maps, yada yada yada. But in reality, drop map for most spots don't matter as much as when you jump out from the bus. The reason you're getting out dropped is not because sorry, one sec. The reason you're getting out dropped most of the time is not because of your drop map. Is because when you jump out of the bus at the wrong time. So knowing when to jump out of the bus is very important, and it's just something you just gotta learn. But like rule of thumb is 60-degree angle towards the spot you're going or towards your marker. And then obviously bus is faster than you fly, so if the bus goes straight to your spot, there's a sweet spot where you have to jump out. The more you move your mouse going towards your marker, the more you're gonna lose. Yeah. That's short about the drop 60-degree angle. Yeah, it's hard to explain. Like I could paint it, but this bus like doesn't this bus is a bit shit. Okay, spawn. Obviously when you're playing FNCS, if you're playing scrims, it don't matter, like you should create good routines throughout. Always try your hardest. You should always have more I like to have more than one loot path so that you, especially for the best players, because if you only have one, people can sneak on your loot path, people can use it to their advantage. So you should have more than one. You should focus on having like speed of spawn. You should be efficient. No heals in between each other. Never make your partner run for your heals most of the time. Depends a little bit on what spots you land. The more you run in between pick up shit, the slower you're gonna be. And the thing is with a Fortnite game is when you're slow, every second matters because like 5 seconds here, 10 seconds here makes it so that you have a worse timing for later in the game. And in reality, what most people don't know is in Fortnite, when you die because of a bad rotate late in the game, it most likely is tied with what you did earlier in the game, 10 minutes earlier. That's how this game works. So my job as a Fortnite coach is, or coach, I don't like to use the word, but my job for these pro players is to make everyone efficient. Efficient, effective, don't waste time, and put them in the best spot possible. And this starts the moment you jump out the bus, like I explained. You gotta focus on the small details all the time. If you don't focus on the small details, you're not gonna make it. Simple as. That's why you hear me screaming at Mongrel and Clix when they do like small piss mistakes over and over again. Okay, let's look. Okay, it's bugged. There's no buildings. maybe we shouldn't talk too much about set lobbies because people, like most of you, like how many of you have even made set lobbies? You said like there wasn't that many, to be honest, right? Nope, nope. Because set lobbies is like a completely different skill. So let's not talk too much about set lobbies. Let's more talk about. Maybe we shouldn't even watch this game, to be honest with you. Maybe we should watch a shitter play. Let me go and watch a shitter play because what are set lobbies? Set lobbies are finals, and finals are like a completely different skill. We can look at the final after, but let's look at a game in like open format instead. Because if 95% of you guys struggle in that, there's no point to watch set lobbies. Because set lobbies is like a completely different skill set. Let's start here instead. So I can explain what goes through my head when I'm playing. I'm 32 years old, I have 0 mechanics, and I made it this far. Let's watch last game. Just to prove to you like what you can do if you think some boomer mechs, yeah. It's the OnlyFans, yeah. Do you decide your players' drop spots? Not really, no. I would assume coaches would be some of the best players. Nah. You can't just sub in Pep Guardiola on Man City right now, bro. Bro, he's too old. There's not. Let's see. Oh yeah, this was a swerve. So even from this, look at this. So even from this, you can make something work. Let's watch. It's a bit unfortunate, but actually, yeah, whatever. We'll watch this. What is the proper way to VOD review? So the issue with VOD reviewing is, even if you VOD review, are you really picking up on the things that you should be picking up on? The hard part isn't opening the VOD, you know, and like watching a VOD. It's understanding what's actually happening in the VOD and like making something out of it. That by itself is a skill. Okay, so let's say you're in round 2 and 3, right? And there's no elo. People are keying. Do you die often to getting keyed, for example? Is that the issue? Like, are you getting keyed by pros and dying? Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Okay, so there are ways to avoid getting keyed, right? You gotta understand, like, in a
Oh,
lobby
I
where a
remember
pro
this.
is gonna qual regardless,
You have to
you
disappear.
gotta find yourself in positions. So let's say, like, most of you,
I remember
like,
this.
how would you guys rate yourselves in terms of fighting? Most of the people here, like, are you confident fighting a pro, or like, are you running as soon as you see like Tayson in the feed or Benno in the feed or Acorn Cold? Like, what's the idea? Run. So if you want to play fight back, so if you want to play safe, obviously for myself, I was landing up here, top right on this spot. So for me, it's kind of easy in these open format lobbies because I just stay away from everyone, every single game. My entire goal is to stay away. I'm staying away from the mid map, and I'm staying away. That's the entire game plan. If I can stay away, I will qual. As you can see, I'm away from the whole lobby, hiding like a bitch. And reality is, sometimes if you want to make it, and you're not good enough to keep up with the fighting, and you want to make your end games, that's how you have to play. It's just how it is. I keep pressing the wrong button, bro. And even like you gotta understand in like you know, you're worried about surge in these lobbies even. So if you carry 2 DMRs or a DMR and a pro team hears that the team has double DMR, you're getting keyed. Shit. I have to press record. You're right. You're smart for that. How to perfect rotate it in game. Yeah, we're gonna get to that. Again, staying away from people. You see, we're alone completely. People flanker, people stuck on edge, people will rotate. Let me think 1 second. I'm also gonna do something smart. Let me see if screen share on. Can you see like my? You can't see my screen, so I have to change the screen so you can see. Sorry, you might see me tap shit now, but it is what it is. Okay, so look at this. This is what I did in chapter 1 when I started Fortnite, and I was thinking like, so obviously, what you know from every single team, right? Every team, every landing spot, everyone is chasing center, right? Let's see, like here, here, here. Like you get the point. Like snooty, like boom, boom. So everyone's chasing center. So that the points where you want to enter the zone to avoid other people. Do you see where it is? Do you see why you catch pros in these areas a lot of the time? People are going around if they don't want to fight. So in a lobby like this, if
You've
you're in
probably
round
seen
2
me
and
in
round
those
3 and
areas
you're struggling
before.
to get past and you're getting keyed walk into zone, maybe you need to carry 3 medkits and use cactuses and get around the pros that are keying. Because you see, if you go in this area, you're gonna get fought. It's just how it is. So you see, I made it even further for me. But like I said, for me it's easy because I land up here. But you see, so like I have like a gap here. Let me put the screenshot on Fortnite. How do I change it back, bro? Fortnite. Don't overthink the rotate. When I go in the red area, I lose all my shields. Switch. Did a lot of you struggle in the Nitro meta before the nerf? How many of you struggled in the Nitro meta, getting beamed and getting ran in on?
Bug
Getting run and
Nitro.
train on? Yes? I mean, for most people, if you got cracked, it was over. So even more of a skill gap to play away from people. Again, just shooting people. Quicker scouting first so no one's here. And again, same thing. Staying away from everyone. Not letting anyone come close to us. That's the whole game plan. Because if anyone comes close to this 32-year-old man, he's gonna fold. This is me. I'm the 32-year-old man for people that didn't get it. So again, stay away from the lobby. No one can come close to us. Obviously you gotta hit your surge tags with DMR. We can also talk about how to get surge and how to use DMR. Because most people don't know. But I would have to go in game and show you. Again, zone pulls, we're not stressing. We have a pad if we want to go. We can go inside, we can scrape in. Everyone else is stressing. Again, do you remember the painting that I did earlier? Again, you see? Both entries on the back side of these zones. You can't see my mouse, but like you see the area, right? Like this area here. And the area, oh. And the area, oh. And the area down here at the tactical grunt. You see again, same thing. People go to zone and they leave the gaps open on the back sides. That's where we want to sit. Because we don't engage with people. Zone pulls. Now obviously we have dead side. You saw the circle pull, right? I'm actually gonna change again so you can see my mouse because it's so shit. Oh, you can see my mouse. Okay. So you see here, dead side. Again, we're gonna use this to our advantage. We don't have to go all the way around because we know we can just white line here. So we're not in a rush. Waiting. We get a free pump. And this was Nitro meta when you could break wall with one, you know? Again, zones on our back. Here is when a lot of people will stress. Don't stress in this situation. Make sure you communicate. You get everything that you look. I take my time. Okay, I take 2 ticks, 4 ticks, 8 ticks. It don't matter to me. Because I get my 3 extra medkits. Take your time in scenarios where you can take your time, of course. Nitroing in. You see we haven't been shot a single time. Now it's the first time we get shot. Now we're gonna do a mistake. So here, you should just drop me a coke insta, or I should pop a mini and we should fizz insta. Because look at this. Again, same principle of the last time. Let's go like 5 seconds back so you can see the zone. So again, you see the zone pulling in here. So this is this south side, yeah. We have a ridge. We know there's a lot of people in this area. So what we want to do now is, when we get to zone, we want to avoid this bunch, right? Obviously, we can't see these players in game, but I know from experience.
Right.
If I pay attention to zones, I know where people are.
Exactly. Like, let's go back and look at that fucking map real quick.
South side, yeah.
Like, that is just prime example of dead side. Like, literally, that's the halfway point. There's 3 people. These 2, and this guy. And then I guess maybe this team. But this whole area is just completely free. There's like 20 fucking teams over here. So that just proves dead side is OP. Like, if you're right here in this water, you can be refarming, getting your max to at least 550. Not a lot of metal, but like if you're just dead side, even in these fat stacked lobbies, you can still refarm.
We have a ridge. We know there's a lot of people in this area. So what we want to do now is, when we get to zone, we want to avoid this bunch, right? Obviously, we can't see these players in game, but I know from experience. Because if I pay attention to zones, I know where people are. So in reality, we should have healed faster and gone to zone. And now you're going to see us get punished because we do a mistake. We're going with the lobby. Still, we're going through the right, to the right place. Even wiggling in the air, still get beamed. Now you see the importance of timing. This was a bad timing. But again, it was the right rotate. Arguably, we could have gone left of these builds. But this was fine. But we just did it too slow. So because we did it too slow, I almost got punished. Again, look at the map. The congested part of last zone, they're always going to be, you know, running shortest possible way to zone. Again, back to the painting. Where are people? Like,
and I know he's carrying medkits right now, so saying this is kind of dumb, but the more I watch VOD reviews, the more I realize you don't need medkits. Like, what he just did right there was a mistake. Like, clearly it was bad timing. Like, you knew zone was about to pop. If you move, you don't even have to go the whole way, but just get ahead, even to the spot where he got shot. You could just base up right there and then get better timing, and you're already halfway through the rotation. But because he made a mistake, had bad timing, maybe didn't, you know, block his angles properly, he got punished and he, you know, got down to 1 HP. That's a mistake. Like, I don't want to have to like I know everyone makes mistakes, but I don't want to have to be making mistakes like that. Like a med kit is a dead item slot. You know what I mean? Like I'd much rather have berries or something. You know what I mean? Like obviously a fizz or something would be way better, but like even just a berry because that's mobility and you're gonna get tagged. Everyone gets tagged. Getting tagged is not a mistake. Getting hit for over 100 damage is a mistake. You know, like you should be able to get hit once, maybe twice. Because if you get hit three AR bullets to crack your shield, that's just bad reaction time. So yeah, the more I watch this, the more I think, but maybe I'm wrong.
What's the zone like? People are going the shortest way. Again, by ourselves, wiggling as much as possible to try and not get hit. Poor ass solo. Quaker should have dropped. Quaker should have dropped cokes, maybe meds. Could have carried minis over. Does he even get all the meds? Yeah, he gets all the meds. It's siphon. Still a risk to take because we have meds. And again, now it's about scouting, rotate, and finding the loophole. So if you look through the cone here, it's kind of easy to see. Zone's gonna slightly open up to the right.
Maybe that's why you hold med
We obviously
kits.
can't run through the middle. These guys are gonna hold us.
You can tank storm.
The answer is easy. We're just gonna wait. Go. Again, trying to avoid everyone. Using terrain to our advantage. But we're still like in a refresh mode because we need the refresh. This is what you call boomer mechanics. Running at floors. Again, when you get finishes, I don't know if any one of you watched me on live on stream and I say make space a lot. Look important. I don't worry about the body until I have my space. Because if I stop in this box and I make one box, what's gonna happen if someone comes in front of me? I have no wiggle room, nothing. Yeah? So super important to make space once you get a body. Always worry about the space. You see Quaker is gonna worry about it as well before we turn to the body. And now, we're on edge zone. On edge zone, we know in our minds, or I know in my mind at least, that if I fight on edge zone, I'm more likely to get smacked, pre-edited, you know, than if I was to fight with my back free on dead side. So here I'm more cautious about what I'm doing. Spray down the loot, and now we want to chill and wait for people to make room, make errors. You see people are fighting. Now we have time to sit here and wait because we have nitro. On the body insta, no hesitation. Again, make sure you have enough space. You don't want to sit in one box. Now we have a good timing. Maybe I should explain the timing. Okay, fuck it. I'll explain it. Maybe I shouldn't be explaining this, but whatever. We'll do it.
This is so important. Yo, listen up right here. This is so important.
So moving zones are very scripted. Let me get my paint. Can you see my painting again or no? Or can you only see my Fortnite? Yes, you can see it. Okay. So the distance from backside of zone to past center dead side is scripted, right? It will not change. So this distance here does not change. Never. It's the same every single game. So that means the lobby is going to behave the same every single game. So this zone is 60 seconds. Oh shit. 60 seconds. And it opens at a certain speed, right? Speed doesn't change, the distance doesn't change. This means that there's something, how do you explain it? Like you can have a certain movement in the zone, like run box, and you will be able to go from, let's say, backside or front side to dead side, right? Because you don't want to be anywhere. Let me use another color. Actually, let's use black. So like you don't want to be anywhere in the black. And the reason to that is because more things happen here, right? So you're only in black if you need something. If you need a kill, if you need something, you're only in black. So your goal is to get to the blue side. Always. And in my opinion, you're also banned from being on like the very sides because you're more likely to die. So center dead side is what you want to achieve. So how you do this? Um, so obviously it's based on distances, but let's say for max, you'll have to run twice. This guy, let's see if these guys live. Okay, they live. So these guys are at backside zone, yeah? I'll explain it while watching the zone. So they ran from here, and then they boxed here. So let's see now. In this box, I don't care about them running now, because it has nothing to do with what I'm showing. So now, in theory, if they run now, by the time they reach front side, they'll be able to reach the blue circle that I painted for you. Look now. So let's like paint in my head. Okay, they run out. Boom, run up. Boom, they run up. And now he's front. You see how the zone is opened? By the time they reach front sides, the blue circle's in. This is how I view endgames. This is the skill gap to understand. So you you
So if you don't understand what he just said, let me break it down for you real quick. So you need to take breaks because on moving zones, if you get to the front of the zone and then keep moving forward precipitously, or I guess maybe that's not the right word, way too constantly, you're just gonna keep hitting your head against the wall because the center dead side is not going to be available because he drew where he would mark on the map. Basically, he marked center dead side and he said that's where I'm trying to go, and he made one box at the very front of the zone, and then he waited for zone to kick him out, and then he ran all the way to center dead side, and he did that only making two boxes versus if you keep going forward, you're going to keep building. You're going to build way more. And yes, you have to deal with more people when you do that, yes, but that's not the point that he was making. The point that he was making is you don't have to keep moving. You can take breaks. And that is something that is so fucking important and something I learned from this guy.
it's kind of hard. There is no like black and white answer, you know, to when you want to run. But you obviously there are things that you need to take care of when you. holding front, uh, are are you looking too long at kills, for example? You get tagged, like getting tagged before rotates. Like there's plenty. So basically, like Fortnite's like a rule book. I would never be able to tell you all these things in like a couple hours because Fortnite to me is like a rule book. I have a rule book in my head. So when I see a scenario, when I watch someone, I already know what's gonna happen because I've seen it 1,000 times over. So I can see it in future. I just look at the map and I look at the players arrows and it just tells me because like I painted for you, it's all about like moving zones are about distances. Where am I in the zone? So for this guy, let's say, let me think about a game. Uh, let's see the same zone for a guy that pulls on front side, and you see, you'll be even more amazed. Okay, so hypothetically now, let's say there was a team here, yeah, front side of zone, right here on this box. It is physically impossible for someone boxed up here to run once in first moving and get to the blue circle. It's physically impossible. The zone doesn't open fast enough. So what you gotta do is you gotta delay the timing. And how do you delay the timing? You either make a couple boxes, 4 or 5 boxes, then you have 40 seconds to look back for kills. Literally 40, by the way. And then go to the blue side of the circle. Let's watch now from this canister just to prove my point. Like the lane that like play one. I'm just trying to like, how I use Fortnite. And now it's physically running up, and it's physically impossible to reach in one go. If you extend with like a couple of boxes, you'll be able to reach. Of course, you gotta also take in this it's like turns are harder than others. So this is how
Okay, the audio is ass right now. 1 second.
understand things. That's what you're doing now. I'm explaining like end game. How do you train your aim? You just gotta watch games, man. You do replays. You gotta... How did you help Mongrel to get better when he got back? So again, like Mongrel was like, do you all watch Mongrel or no?
There we
Like,
go.
do you guys like do you all watch like finals and like when Clix streams or Mongrel or like not religiously? I mean, reality is when Mongrel came back to game, right? He didn't know nothing, and like if you look at him now, he knows more about the rules. He has more discipline. Obviously, he has good aim and knows how to kill people somewhat. So he already has like a part of the package. For timing, should be paying attention to the timer, then or just other players. Timing doesn't necessarily mean the timer on the watch, like on the map, you know. That's not what I mean by timing. Timing is about like this whole game is about timing. Like rotates, understanding when the teams in front of you rotate so that you can get a free rotate, for example. Explain solo game because it's a bit different. Nah, the solo games are even more scripted and there's more freedom. How much difference is there in coaching lower level players compared to the best? Such, I mean, of course it's huge. Like we're on a different like mental level. Let me think of let me think. Like I said, like I could rant on forever. Like what tell me something that you guys want to know or like if there's something specific that you guys are wondering about sitting here. Surge, more mid game and early game. Playing solo endgame? No, I won't do that for now. How to get refresh and mats in endgame? There are no like scripted ways. Higher on retakes, I'm not doing. How to play with someone that's not good at fighting? I mean, when you're not good at fighting, you just gotta use your brain. Surge, predicting zones. I mean, you can predict some somewhat. Like last grants, you could predict because it was scripted, but you can't always. Best way to not die early. Birds moving. Should I be switching? I would never switch my drop spot. Let me see. Surge. So also, Surge, we can go through Surge, like basic principles of Surge. When you're shooting someone for Surge, so not dying to Surge, right, is very easy. Because you could just build up a base mid-map or like where you know people are. But the skill gap is maintaining your materials high while shooting your gun. That's the real skill. So while you're shooting your gun and hitting your shots, you need to be farming. You need to be constantly aware of everything else that's happening. If you just sit in a base and shoot your gun, both of you, and you have 60 builds each, like what's the point? There is no like, okay, now at this point in the game, I'm getting Surge and I'm not doing anything else. It's not how it works. Can you switch Africa? What? Is the blue marked area you did on moving zones the same for every moving? It matters more in first moving because the distances are larger. Obviously, when the zones become smaller, there's more RNG to it, but there's still the same principles of rotates. You showed how to play from your spot full edge map, how to play from a spot like restored. See, if I wasn't a fighter and I'm struggling to get out of round 2 and 3, maybe landing mid map ain't the best idea, buddy. Unless you can hold your own weight or be smart, because you're gonna get keyed. It's the same thing with landing next to redline rig, you know? In lobbies where you know pros are gonna key. It's not that smart. I played Eva with Clix the other day, and I didn't want to go snooty because it's next to Shark and Rig. Because I can't. He was on high ping and I'm old. So sometimes you just gotta use your brain. Is second high still OP with no fist? The more mats you have in endgame, the higher layers you play. Simple as. The less mats you have, the lower layers you gotta go. The more risks you gotta take. There's no point tarping out your mats on mid ground. If you have 20 more builds, use them on low ground and fight. Should we use DMR for Surge? How to position yourself at the best position mid game, not to get griefed. I mean, I already explained that. If the struggle is to get out of round 2 and 3, like you want to stay away from people, stay on hills, play one DMR, hit your shots. Do we need at least one game with high kill win to qualify for finals and do a cash cup? Not really. You can drop like to qual in cash cup. You can drop like a 2-3 kill win first game and then drop like a 15-20 in the second game with ease. At least on EU. Can you explain how to create a game plan? Rare. What did you do to get heats? Were you carried? Did you make calls? No, I carried my own weight. Landing between, yeah, it was so bad for round 2. Yeah, if you did that, it's cooked. Split base is good. Do you recommend placement over kills? Obviously, always. That's also a good question, because in reality, like everyone's so focused on their mechanics and fighting ability. The reason I know everything that I know and have the knowledge that I have is because I always started the game. I was old. I could not fight in even the beginning of Fortnite. So for me, it was football, soccer, whatever. You have like Zlatan, self-applied pressure, he don't give a fuck. Cristiano Ronaldo, self-applied pressure, he don't give a fuck. But there's not many of them, that are so cocky. Because it's really bad. How to keep a good mentality when your tournament is going bad? I mean, if you give up, you're not gonna go out. So, how good does your fighting need to be? To make heats, you don't need to fight. So it depends on what your goal is. Like, what's your goal in Fortnite? Everyone, what's their goal in Fortnite? Tell me. And don't be like cringe. Oh, I want to be the best player. Like, tell me like realistic goals. Make it out the trenches. Make heats. Make earning. LAN. Just get earnings. Go pro. Play set lobbies.
Hey, fuck you! I'm gonna win the world championship.
So the thing is like, to make any of this, you don't really need to fight. If you got good surge aim, good understanding of the game, you don't need it. But if you have less of that, then you need to be more mechanical. It's kind of obvious. What should I do to make it to endgame? That's a little too broad of a question, don't you think? How to counterfight when you're getting keyed, that's for someone else to teach you. But as a general rule of thumb, if someone shot you and you took damage, if you heal without shooting back, you're gonna be cooked. When you get dealt damage to, it's important you counter peek on low HP and shoot back without dying. Always shoot back. Always shoot back and be aggressive. Look at Queasy, he's not the best fighter. Queasy. So we can use Queasy as an example. Queasy is not a bad fighter, but he's obviously not the best. He's old as fuck. He has good aim, but he has like this delusional confidence about himself as a player. So he can hold his weight. But he understands Surge. He has good aim. He keeps his mats high. He knows how to rotate. He's smart. So you like
And Queasy got second place, so shouts out to Queasy. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta be a little bit delusional to fucking create a fucking unbelievable world. You can't fucking win a world championship if you don't believe in yourself. So, I mean, that's why he got second, because he believes in himself. Soon he'll be number one. But first he's gotta go through me and Peterbot.
there is no like black and white. If you look at Vico, for example, everyone knows Vico. Vico is like a fantastic mechanical player, but lacks in the arsenal of like getting surge and maybe doing like good rotates and need more kills to get end games. So when he gets to the more difficult lobbies, obviously going to be more difficult because you're not going to have 5, 6, 7 kills going into end game. So like you need to find a balance. Did you go through Clix and Venno? So the thing is like I could sit here and VOD review games, but Fortnite's so much more than VOD reviewing games. Like there's so much else. There's so much more that you can do than VOD review. Things that you need to understand. You guys are typing too fast. What do you think when scouting and looking for a rotate? You look at where teams are shooting, you look at where if teams are running. Like I said, if there's two teams in front of you that gotta go before you to zone, sometimes you gotta wait until they go. Like it's about like taking in the information around you and using it to your advantage. Can I go right? Can I go left? Can I go through the middle? Are these guys moving? Are they moving? You know? That's the type of information. You talked a lot about rulebook. Can you give us the 5 most important of this? Oh, dude, that book is full of rules. Like you can show me, you can go in game and put any scenario, any time on the watch during a tournament in a stack game, and you can pause it, and I'll have 10 rules just for that scenario. Number 1 rule. So like the rulebook is like full. Like end games are full of rulebooks. Early off spawn is full of rulebooks. Dropping out to the bus full of rulebooks. Don't move your mouse while going to your like I explained at the start. While shooting surge, let the enemy walk into your crosshair. Don't aim yourself. Sometimes you have to aim yourself, but a lot of the time it's about click timing more than aim. So if you watch players like Tyson and Van on tier 1, will they be applying the principles you've said well? And what pros are the best to VOD? So like there's no point to VOD teams like Peterbot. Like any teams that get a lot of kills is completely useless. Because you if you want to learn how they kill people, you can VOD review them. But like learning how to play strategy and smart from people that have a lot of kills don't make sense. So Steady Cami are a good team to watch. Taste Neoms are a good team to watch. Clix and Veno don't play heavy kills. Like none of my team. Trulex Chicho. Can you VOD Tayson and explain some rules? I don't know if there was any good games. The game they won was kind of like not that great. But we can VOD. Can VOD the game they won just for the purpose. Is it this one or? Fuck's sake, bro, like this shit is so annoying. Am I restarted? Is it this one or? I'm actually cooked. This one. Please. Don't get me out. We can watch this, but it's not like perfect by any means. Best IGL in the world. Oh. Best IGL in the world. It might honestly be Cammy. And Cammy is not even a fucking... Teddy is the one IGL link, but I think Cammy might be the best one. Cammy is just a giga nerd. I think if you want to learn from a smart player, Cammy is probably like the smartest player right now. Why does set the IGL then? I don't know. I don't know, Misa. What about Must? No, he's not an IGL. Not at all. It's like trying to watch a fucking center back when you want to learn how to score in football. I'm such a troll. Let's watch this. Let's watch this engagement quick. Also, like a very popular way to get surge for like confident players, people that can hold their weight. Look at this. Creating surge scenarios, using your teammate as a bait, for example, super valid strategy. Nice, my camera is stuck in the ground. Look now, how Tayson's gonna be the bait for Yamza. Akon gets hit 110. Again, gets hit 110. So like Surge is something you gotta create yourself. Like people were asking about Surge earlier. Sometimes you gotta create your Surge opportunities. But obviously, like me as a 32-year-old, I'll do this. But if I was a confident fighter and I could hold my own weight, I wouldn't be scared going close. But you shouldn't like full fight. Let's get forward. Because obviously this is like playing to a should play qual. Yes, you should play with placement. Can you do a lesson where you tell us how to rotate perfectly? I mean, it's just no such thing. So their idea here, again, do you remember what I did with the painting? Everyone remembers about this and this. Again, Tyson and Yoms are sitting. These guys snuck up on them. They weren't supposed to be here. But like the whole point of sitting here is to like hold this area free so no one can be right, and then they can do whatever they want. Again, this was not a perfect game. Using terrain to their advantage. This is something Tason's really good at. All good pro players. Again, you know, can't get shot from the base up here. Just being smart. Map knowledge is important. I guess you can say map knowledge is something that if you don't have map knowledge, you can forget being good in Fortnite. Cooked for you. What are Clix and Venom doing different that makes them the most dominant duo in the NA? They're playing like full scripted, playing some games, and their execution is good. Again, okay, let's start now then. Realistically, if they had more surge now, they would sit on the ring like now, and there's no point to move, right? Because rings are power. You fist ring, you go all the way up to yellow arrow. So now you just sit, you shoot your gun, you use the cactus, boom. They need surge, they need to overstay. Already now they know that they can't go as soon as song closes. 39 above. Hit your shots good. Nice. So normally now, if they had more surge and they were above the next zone, they would move insta. Why would they move insta? Because the timing is good, you know? So look at the teams that have surge. Let's look at this team if they have surge. Look, they have surge, they go insta. Canada and Cooper. They have surge for next threshold. They easily be above for next. They go insta. Scented and Walkers. They don't have much surge. They might even die to surge. So like you see, like it's a constant evaluation of, again, this is like a part of the rule book. Here they know that they need to oversit because their surge.
Oh, we really out here. What up, Jay Shepard?
You know?
The big
Then
dog.
once they get enough damage to get past the next threshold, they can move. Because you see now, the longer they wait, the more teams are rotating, right? The more teams that are based in
Sir,
zone, the
just
harder it's gonna get
studying
in.
the game.
Still, they're worried about
Studying
surge.
war.
You got 100 tag. Teams are going. What fucking Pepega ring? What is bro doing? See, this is why we WOD review, bro. I gotta type some notes.
Yeah, he's from Europe.
Thank you guys for bringing me into this session, doing my job. So what they should have done here? What do you think what do you think they should have done here? Let me ask you guys. Tell me, what should they have done to be able to ring further?
Jump.
The answer is so simple.
Just hit the top of the ring.
Go higher. Yes, see, this guy's smart. They could have just ramped up one more. If there were more, they would have made it past. Also, if they had time and if there wasn't a gigantic surge base here, they could have broke the tree. But realistically, if they built up and
But
went
that's
to the
why
top of the
we
ring, look, he goes at the
practice.
bottom.
Because we have to
See if
learn
Yamsa
from our
is-
mistakes and
see if
learn
Yamsa
from
doesn't
pros'
hit the tree.
mistakes.
He hit that one, but he could have avoided. You get my point. If they went higher, they would have went further. So now their game becomes shambles because of that. Now they have to run with everyone else. Look at the map. Because of one stupid decision. This is how fucked Fortnite is.
Oh yeah, you'd
You can
mess
play
me up in
Fortnite.
Rocket League.
This game wasn't a perfect game, but like you could play Fortnite down to like perfection. You make one tiny shitty ass mistake and it costs your whole game. That's why this game is so difficult. Why not Fist? It was Fist, I think. Or was he not? If he wasn't Fist, that's, I would just assume he was. Yeah, he was Fist. Yes, it was. Yeah, he was 100 here and 95 after. But again, it shows the importance of making the right decisions. This is not a right decision. Goes from the bottom of the ring. Like I said, now they have to rotate with the lobby. Look at the map. Look at the map. Again, this is where taste and speciality is. He finds his fucking way out. This is why he's a 5 times FNCS winner. He knows that these guys are here, and he finds a way around. Whereas most other players would have been sucked in. Do you remember I painted the lines? Most players would have been sucked here. Straight in here. Through this. But again, this is his like high skill. Adapting on the fly. Now, let's see if he could have done anything different here as well. Nah, this one's rougher. Or, let's see if he could have entered the portal in a different angle. He doesn't have much time here though, to his defense. Ah, couldn't have done anything here. But again, now you see, do you remember I started this conversation about and saying how things can snowball? Sometimes you die or sometimes your game gets griefed 10 minutes before. Here, you see the decision 45 seconds ago impacts the game. And if someone pulls max now, it's not a fun game. So that's why I said, like, this game is not perfect by any means. If this zone pulls max, the entire lobby is fucked. But it pulls back. Let's see the end game with timings. Let's see loot. There's another 555 body. 2 bodies actually. 500 brick. Need more damage. This game wasn't as clean strategy-wise because they didn't have damage. What about going through the other side of the circle? No, then they would be sent like to the island. Low ground, you have awareness. You can get pre-edited at any given time if you're congested, as you can tell on the map. How I explained earlier, you gotta be careful. You can't just shoot your gun endlessly. That's another rule. Like, you can only spray for so long without having awareness, you know? Yams is probably the best awareness player in the game. So the better awareness one of your teammate has, or one of the players in the team, the more you can fight. Because, like, it's just how it is. Some players have shit awareness, others have good. Oh, bad trade. That's not an awareness thing, by the way. That's just being shit. Again, you can't see, but if you can see my mouse, they're on the edge again. So again, they need to have enough space when they're on low ground.
Yeah, so this is, I don't know if you know who Clix is. It's one of the world's best players. It's his coach, and I am part of like his little Discord group, and so I get all these videos, you know, all of his reviews, and I know this is a good one, so I wanted to, you know, show you guys this one just because I think it's good content and it's good. It's a good refresher for me. Exactly, yep. And you know, every night I'm gonna be, not every night, but 5 times a week. This is the last one this week, even though I've done 6 this week. I'm gonna be doing VOD reviews, so yeah, that's what this is right now. It's just a little study sesh.
Again, you see he turns his back to check. Jason as well. Obviously easier to get refreshes in this type of zone on low ground, but it's also easier to be the refresh. Okay, now let's talk about endgame. And now you can see what I explained earlier, most likely. Okay, so do you remember what I said about pulling zone? This is almost pulling zone. This is like a little bit on the side. realistically, let me see the blue arrow, the green arrows. Yeah, this team is the team that pulls zone entirely, right? So if you can see my mouse, this around this area would be Tayson. So if Tayson wants to do the right play now, and he listened to what I've been telling him, he should make more space towards. He'll probably go for this body because he wants the mats. But by going for this body, he'll delay his timing by 5 boxes, meaning he'll have a better timing because he pulled zone because of what I explained earlier. Let's see what he does. Goes for the loot. And now, realistically, remember how I said about they have time to shoot, but in this zone they don't because there's too many builds, right? But if it was a different terrain, they would have had like 35 seconds to shoot backside right now. Doesn't get the best timing, so he needs to spend more mats. You see how he compensates? He preferred to take the timing when there was no players, but he had to build more on this side of zone because he didn't have enough. He wasn't deep enough in zone, you know? So he compensates.
Yeah, it's not all about
again,
saving mats. It's also about avoiding players and avoiding taking damage
on their layer, so it's fine. Center dead side towards blue circle. Remember the paint? Okay, now this becomes issue. Now they're not the last team anymore. Zone pulls almost directly back. I'm sure if you watch Clix's stream or anyone, up and over, it's the most broken strat in Fortnite history. Slight mistake here from Tayson, in my opinion. You wait till right before zone hits you and you go like, you'll see what he does. Oh my god, sorry. So he exit blind here with footsteps above. What you should have done, you should have possibly gone up, because the thing is when zone pulls back, boys, people are using their tarps and they're getting dragged to zone again. Back to the painting, not this one, but you know, the one I painted. So you gotta use it to your advantage. Bit scuffed. From here, he could have done two things. He could do this and go off his intuition and run like this, or he could have gone up here. So you see in this case, he did the right thing. Because height would be front and they would look if they come up here. So he does the right thing. Gets a good timing. No one was touching him. Everyone else. Let's go back actually and watch the whole lobby. You see people stay in their tarps. They use their own tarps. And then they wait and then they run. There's no focus towards this side of the zone. Again, skill gap. They're fighting. Again, you see Holmes' awareness. He only shoots for 5 seconds before he looks around. Whereas Tayson is focused on the body and the kill. So having good dynamic in the duo is super important. In a relationship, it's not always good to have the same interests, you know? Sometimes you need to complement each other. Again, awareness, you see? Again, that little peek to the front after shooting. Now Tayson does the same. Makes space to buy more time. They know it's a solo. Doesn't watch his back for the one time and he gets pumped for it. Makes space because both have to heal. When you have space like this, it's much easier to heal. The more space you have, the better. Now their mats are good. Yomso's mats aren't necessarily like the best, but the lobby's been dragged. Actually, the lobby hasn't been dragged, I lied. But the lobby is dead. They have time because they have space. Overlooking too much now. They'll look, not watching their surroundings, you see? Both watch forward after reloads. Now the idea is to cover as much ground as possible. He saw wood ramp. He saw wood ramp above. Instantly turns around to shoot and chop. Calls the high ground retake. I have it. Goes up. And instantly apply pressure on the team that's stacked front side. If Yomso doesn't shoot this team, then Clix win this game. But just because he's constantly shooting and he's following what he's learned, they don't get it. If we go and Clix Venos VOD here, you will see from their POV they would win this game. They even tried to go up. You see, he doesn't give them any break. If you're shooting a team like this and they're not dropping, why do you think they're not dropping? Tell me. Why are they not dropping? They want height. They're there for a reason. So you see, he keeps shooting because he's not getting the result that he wants. If this team drops, he'll switch his focus over to killing people. This is, again, part of the rulebook. Everything that I'm saying is a part of the rulebook. So you can show me any endgame of any player. Of course, I have my own rulebook. If you go to Acorn and Cold, they're playing off a completely different rulebook, you know? Like, they're playing more of synergy and kills. Same with Wreath and Ritual. But I don't like Fortnite like that. It's too much risk. You see, Venom's trying to force up, Clix is trying to force up. Now they drop down. Now you have more freedom. Because now they gave up. But still, they need to spray. Obviously. This is kind of troll by it, Tasty, but it is what it is. But like, you see, like, for me, Fortnite is about, like, it's just, can I buy this rulebook? I mean, that's what pro players are paying, you know? That's why they're paying me. That's why they're using me in the first place. Because that's my strength. If I watch an endgame, I have good intuition of what should happen. Can we pay you? How much for the book? 8,000? Oh, that's kind of cheap. I can give you my student loans.
All right, and that is gonna wrap it up for the sesh. You know, it was a late night one, like after dark. Normally I go at like 8 o'clock, 9:30 ish, something like that. But we hopped in at 10 o'clock. I'm locked in, not gonna miss any of these. I'm gonna stay consistent because you know I'm chasing my dreams. Are you chasing yours? You better be. Shit, if you follow this channel, you're following someone that's chasing their dreams. You might as well chase your own dreams while you're at it.